Oh, hi. I'm Zerfall, and you may be wondering why I'm drinking my tea out of a bowl and have half my desk taken apart behind me already. That's because I'm moving this week. And because of that, I won't be able to produce any videos probably for about a week. Just too busy packing and everything and getting the move done and getting internet set up in the new place and all that stuff. But because of that, I need to pack up these games. So I'm going to do my Hulls video for July. Now, first up, Wizards and Warriors 2. This game came out in 1989, and I don't really actually have a lot of memories of this game. I didn't play it all that much. I played it a little bit. I think I rented it once or twice. The gameplay in it isn't the best. You've got to find some sort of gold statue in the level, bring it to the right guy, then you can go to the next level where you have to find a spell to fight the boss. If you don't find the spell, you can't do damage to the boss, so don't try to fight him without it. And move on to the next level and so forth. I never got all that far. There's a bunch of hidden rooms and all that sort of stuff, but now that I have it, I only need Wizards and Warriors to complete the series because I am a pretty big fan of Wizards and Warriors 3. Next up, the Final Fantasy Legend. Actually, let's get that out of the Super Game Boy. The Final Fantasy Legend. Now, I didn't play this one a lot as a kid either, but I was a big fan of Final Fantasy Legend 2. And this is the game that started that series. It's actually the Saga series in Japan. It's not linked to Final Fantasy as a franchise at all in Japan. But it's the Saga series, which eventually became Saga. It's like when, what was it, in the 90s when Squaresoft decided to finally line up all the game titles. So this became the Saga series, and Final Fantasy started using the right numbers and all that jazz. Nine Halos used to be doing a Let's Play of this, and I was really enjoying that, but I believe he had technical issues that made him stop, but if there was any way for him to keep it going, maybe he could do that? That's a bit of a Hail Mary request there. But those are the only ones I got for Nintendo and Game Boy. This next game, you're going to think this game's out of this world, and that's because this game is out of this world for the Super Nintendo. Now, this game was notorious for its gameplay. It was really a really hard game, and it's one of those games where the only way to learn to play or to learn to beat it is to keep dying over and over again. It did have a password system, and you get to hit B to continue from wherever the latest checkpoint was in the game, but it also ends up, it doesn't have a very rewarding ending. It's kind of a sad ending, and it doesn't really conclude the story. To that end, there is a sequel to the game called Heart of the Alien, which you take place of the alien buddy in the game. Mysterious JG did a Let's Play of it, and it has an even worse ending for the human, I suppose, in the game, but I guess the aliens, they're building their planet back up from the bad guys and all that jazz. So that's something for them. Get ready. Super Black Bass for the Super Nintendo. All the rest of the games are for the Super Nintendo. I suppose I can stop saying that. I rented this game a lot more than the other game from last month from a place called Jumbo Video. And if you look closely on this, there's a half ripped off sticker, and that is for Jumbo Video. So this may actually be one of the copies that I rented as a kid over and over again. I found this game was more fun than the other one, and I was able to beat it as a kid, and playing it now, I'm too bad and can't get past the first tournament. But I guess I just have to relearn where all the hot fishing spots are to catch the big black bass that are in that game. Next up, Kirby's Dream Course. That might be out of focus. This is just, it's Kirby meets mini golf. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat game where you can gain the powers of enemies. You have to defeat all the enemies on the map to open a hole. Almost all of the holes do have a way of getting a hole in one if you do it just right. And often it involves hitting the enemies in the right order, getting their powers, and then using their powers in your shot. So if you hit the guy with the cape, you can fly, and if you time that right on certain levels, you'll jump up to the next level and hit another enemy, and then get their power and use it to shoot across the screen again, and eventually get a hole in one. Not all the levels you can get a hole in one, but it's a pretty fun game, and I'm glad to have picked that up. I rented that one a lot too as a kid. And up next, Super Punch-Out. This game is the sequel to Punch-Out, and it has all the classic characters in it. It's, if anyone hasn't played a Punch-Out game, it's a boxing game, and it's kind of known for its cartoony, over-the-top boxing, where you have super punches. The people you're fighting have, their patterns and everything, but they've got the super punches, the combos, and all this stuff. And if you learn them all right, you can beat them without taking a hit and hit them at the right spot with a secret punch, and you knock them down in one hit and that sort of thing. So it's a very fun game. I don't think I've ever beaten it not on emulator, because save states really help with bosses that have intricate combos. But it's a very fun game, and you may want to check that out if you've never played a Punch-Out game. And the last game is one by Jailco, and it is The Ignition Factor. Now, this game was released in Japan, and it was just simply called Firefighting. And that's what you do, you fight fires. It's not the best game, but I found it really interesting as a kid, so when I saw this, I had to pick it up. You go into burning buildings, as firemen normally do, and you're trying to save as many people as you can. You have a minimum you have to save to beat the level, and each stage has 2 or 3 buildings that you go to. Apparently you get to pick the order that the fires happen, so that's kind of weird. But you go through the stages, try to save the people. They'll have little things pop up like, hey, try to save as many items as you can find. So you're in a factory, and for some reason you have to find their computer disks and pick up their secret formula so they don't lose it and all that stuff. It all gives you bonus points. If you get a high enough score, there's a bonus level at the end of the game that you get to play through to get even more maximum points. And it also has a password system, and that's the only way I've actually seen that bonus level. But anyways, that's all the games. There were, 6 or 7 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, pretty good haul this month. Next month, I'll be living closer to the Gibraltar Trade Center. So there's a big flea market there on the weekends, and there's 2 or 3 video game vendors. Now, the only problem with those places is those people kind of know what the games are worth, so sometimes they really charge you more than what the game actually is worth because they're trying to make a profit. But sometimes you can also find games there that you can't find elsewhere because they hang on to them and no one wants to buy them for that price. So hopefully next month we'll have a pretty good haul to show you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this whole picture in a picture to actually see what the games are like. And hope to see you next month. Bye.